Now, I think I know my audience pretty well, and I know the thing you guys like most in the beginning of Pokemon WTF videos is schedule updates. That's right, to explain why I'm here on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, I've not quite decided yet. It's because we're going back up to 2 WTF moments a week. I am committing myself to 2 WTF moments episodes per week. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull my finger out, I'm gonna try and snap myself out of all the shit that goes on up here, and I'm gonna push and work hard to get 2 WTF moments out a week because I like making them. They make me really freaking happy, and also I know you guys enjoy watching them, and half of you are only here for that content. Although, don't sleep on Siri Battles. Every Sunday, Siri Battles is the most bloody wonderful thing on this channel. Make sure you're tuning in to Siri Battles if you haven't already watched them, but you are getting 2 WTF moments videos per week, and now I have to think of a really interesting and creative sting to keep people that didn't care about the update on the video. So I've got nothing. Just watch. Our episode begins with Ash telling Tracy and Misty that he can't wait to get home to Pallet Town to one of his mum's chili dog and pizza pot pies. Mate, that sounds like an abomination. Like, think of your arteries, lad. I'm not saying I wouldn't eat it myself, I'm just saying I'm not sure it's quite appropriate for a 10-year-old to be having that many calories. Apparently, Ash's mum is one of the founding members of Epic Mealtime. Confirmed. Do kids today even know who Epic Mealtime are? Oh, listen to me, kids today. Bloody hell, how old are you? Tracy can't wait to get to Pallet Town either, to meet Professor Oak. Oh no, Tracy's coming too. Man, we really can't catch a break, can we? Misty bets Professor Oak can't wait for them to finally bring him the GS ball. Wait, the what? Oh, that! Christ, when was the last time the GS ball was mentioned? Hang on, just checking, and wow, the GS ball hasn't been mentioned since episode 18 of this season. That was 16 episodes ago. Jeez, Ash, you really did forget about that thing, didn't you? The gang arrive at a bridge, which leads to another part of the island where they can catch a ferry back to Pallet Town. Unfortunately, there's a sign telling people not to cross the bridge due to adverse conditions. So naturally, our heroes almost decide to completely ignore the safety advice and cross the bridge regardless, when boom, a massive explosion that destroys part of the bridge shows them exactly why they shouldn't cross. Why were they even thinking of breaking the rules anyway? That's not very protagonisty. In the next shot, we see Ash and friends crossing the water in a rowing boat. Mate, if it was that easy to get hold of a boat, why were you even considering crossing the bridge? Like, I get that Ash is stupid, but even for Ash, that was really stupid. As Ash and friends look around the seemingly deserted town, we see a Voltorb lurking in the shadows. And when Voltorb's eyes open, for some reason we hear the same sound Mew makes when it wakes up in the first Pokemon movie. I mean, Mew can transform, so I guess it's plausible. Apparently, this Voltorb is actually Mew. Pass it on. The gang find the ferry to Pallet Town, but it's on the other side of a locked door, and Ash then says,
"If we can't get to that ferry, how will we get to Pallet Town?"
Oh no. If only you had a Pokemon that was famously known for its ability to transport humans across the ocean. Oh wait, that's right, you had exactly that. You literally rode a Lapras all around the Orange Islands for weeks on end. Wait a minute, what happened to that Lapras? Oh, that's right, you released it into the wild at the end of the last episode. Wow, Ash, it really seems like if you hadn't released one of your best Pokemon, you'd have a way to get to Pallet Town right now. Ash is a numpty. Pass it on. After Togepi wanders off with a wild Voltorb, Misty panics when she realizes Togepi is no longer on the table she left it on. Wow, Misty, it's almost as if Togepi, a literal baby, shouldn't be left unsupervised. Imagine that. Direct quote from Tracy upon seeing Voltorb.
"That's not what I think it is it?"
I mean, only if you think it's a giant Pokeball. Tracy, how do you not know a Voltorb when you see one? Surely everyone in the Pokemon world knows what Pokeballs are based on. Like, surely that's got to be common knowledge. Direct quote from Dexter. Use extreme caution. Voltorb may explode without warning. I mean, it might self-destruct without warning, but it certainly won't explode. Not unless there's a TM nearby. When Misty tries to lift Togepi off the Voltorb, Togepi grabs the Voltorb and lifts it off the ground. Now bear in mind, the average Togepi weighs about 3 pounds, and the average Voltorb weighs about 22 pounds. That means Misty's Togepi is lifting more than 7 times its own weight. Togepi is hench. Confirmed. Now, whether you're hench or not, do me a favor, twat the like button, share this video on social media, and leave me a lovely comment down below if you please. And if you can't think of a lovely comment, leave something generic like
Voltorb? More like bowling. Ball. Oh, got him.
Or just comment the name of the secret Pokemon I've hidden somewhere in the video. And if you're new here, thank you for giving my channel a chance. Hit the subscribe button and join the 1.75 million people who have subscribed to this channel so far. Turn on all notifications as well. I know it doesn't look like 1.75 million, but if you subscribe today, maybe YouTube will add the extra 0. And of course, don't forget to check out my live streams over on Twitch or you'll miss out on stuff like this.
No!
What?
Breakfast wraps and bagels are now permanently removed from the breakfast menu. I've been waiting for 2 years for my bagel!
The gang look further down the alley to find that it's filled with Electrode. I bet this isn't the first time you've been surrounded by balls, is it, Misty? I mean, it should be, though. Remember, she's 10. Ash says the Electrode are even scarier than the Voltorb. Well, of course they are. They're the evolved form of Voltorb. Dexter literally just said so. Like, I can't even think of a Pokemon that gets less scary as it evolves. Credit where credit is due. This A-board falling over and scaring the Electrode and Ash saying,
That's a bad sign.
got a genuine chuckle out of me. Well done, Pokemon. Solid pun. Oh look, Clint Eastwood's turned up. Well, not the actual Clint Eastwood, just Pokemon's answer to him. And of course, what Pokemon could this badass cowboy possibly have in all those Pokeballs? It's gotta be something awesome, like a horde of Dragonite or a fleet of Charizard or a swarm of Nidoking. Nah, just Diglett. Lots and lots of Diglett. That's disappointing. This character has a penchant for dildo-shaped Pokemon, it seems. Not judging, it's just an observation. Alright, hang on. I let this slide with the Voltorb before, but Ash, mate, why are you checking the Pokedex for Pokemon you've already seen loads of? We've had an entire episode dedicated to Diglett already. It was even called Dig Those Diglett. I swear, this lad's memory's like a sieve. He never seems to retain anything. Try harder, Ash. You're supposed to want to be a Pokemon master. The Diglett dig holes underneath the Electrode, which the Electrode then fall into and explode. Doesn't that knock out the Diglett, though? Mate, did this tosser just jump from the roof of a multi-story building all the way to the ground? What are his bones made of? Adamantium? Make your mind up, mate. Are you meant to be Clint Eastwood or Hugh Jackman? The stranger explains to Ash and friends that the people were driven out of the city after Voltorb escaped from a laboratory and then multiplied and evolved until there were more Electrode than people. Man, if only ground-type Pokemon and Pokeballs existed. With those, the town could be rid of the Electrode in a couple of days. Well, shame they're not in the Pokemon world. Wait, the stranger's flashback shows explosions from the Electrode occurring all throughout the city. But the city, which Ash and friends are in, seems to have no damage to any of the buildings whatsoever. It just looks deserted. So does this mean this stranger bloke has been repairing all the damaged buildings by himself? Wow, so it turns out he's not Clint Eastwood or Hugh Jackman. He's Bob the Builder. Confirmed. It turns out the stranger's name is Poncho. Yes, the man wearing a poncho is literally called Poncho. Christ, Pokemon, you've been lazy with names before, but this really takes the cake. I'm surprised you didn't name Ash Cap, Tracy Bandana, and Misty Short Shorts. So Jacket is a Diglett rancher and apparently keeps a Diglett inside the top of his hat. Mate, we still don't know what the bottom of a Diglett looks like. So for all we know, this guy's got Diglett bollocks rubbing against his scalp. Man, the Pokemon world really does have some of the weirdest kinks, doesn't it? Raincoat explains that his Diglett dig tunnels under the Electrode that lead them to a prairie where they can have plenty of space and be happy. Thing is, when Ash and friends were walking around the city before, they didn't see any holes in the ground. So does that mean the Diglett fill the holes back in after each Electrode goes into the tunnels? That doesn't seem very efficient. Wouldn't it be better to leave all of the tunnels open until the Electrode are gone? Like, you're just making extra work for yourself, mate. Use your noodle. The phone rings and Misty answers it and says the call's for Blazer. Of course it's for Cagoule. There's nobody else on the island. Who else would it be for? The Diglett? Misty, mate, you're a numpty. It's revealed that the mayor's office have hired someone else to get rid of the Electrode and kick Gile off the job. Apparently, he wasn't dealing with the Electrode quick enough. Well, you know how you could have avoided this, don't you, mate? You could have got rid of the Electrode quicker. I'm just saying. You should have pulled your finger out, mate, instead of just standing on top of tall buildings all day. It's revealed that Team Rocket are the ones the mayor has hired to get rid of the Electrode. Aw, that's actually really nice.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find Team Rocket are the bad guys, so how can this be nice?
Think about it. They've been hired by the mayor. Team Rocket are doing good, honest work for a change. You love to see it. Next thing you know, they'll be sponsored by GFuel, just like this channel. For those who don't know, GFuel is an energy formula with zero sugar, barely any calories, and a whole heap of wonderful flavors like the wondrous Clickbait, which is cherry and pomegranate that I'm drinking today. This is lovely. This is a luxurious flavor. I love it so much. Pick yourself up some Clickbait if you can. And if you use code ACE, you can save yourself 10% on anything you buy on the GFuel website. Oh, that is gorgeous. Go get yourself a tub of clickbait, or if you're new to GFuel, get yourself a starter pack. You can still get yourself a starter pack with our channel's official shaker, the Gary 2. The lid glows in the bloody dark. Although, do be quick getting your Gary 2s because there's less than 1,000 of them left, and once they're gone, I'm pretty sure they're gone. Just remember, whenever you place your order with GFuel, use code ACE to help yourself get some money off and also to support this channel. And thank you to GFuel as always for sponsoring everything that I do. My channel, my streams, everything. You're all great. And remember, GFuel is for over 18s only because children don't need caffeine. They're annoying enough as it is. And of course, because it contains caffeine, just drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead. Direct quote from James.
Sir, surrender now or prepare to fight.
Wait, was that really how that line was supposed to be delivered? Or did they literally just include an outtake as an actual line? Team Rocket's giant robot arms cause the Electrode to explode, thus tiring them out so they're easier to capture. Honestly, I don't know why Jerkin's so mad about all this. He'd have been done way quicker if he just caught the Electrode himself. It's not like he couldn't have released them out into the prairie later, after all. Mate, after a solid minute of filler where we just see Team Rocket exploding Electrode over and over and other Electrode coming closer to check out the commotion, they've only caught 4 bastard Electrode. Christ, and the mayor thought Trenchcoat worked slowly. Team Rocket are slower than a man named after outerwear. Pass it on. Team Rocket are suddenly scared at the sight of the Electrode surrounding them, even though their goal was to catch all the Electrode, which of course they need to be near in order to catch. I don't get it. How did they expect to do this without going near the Electrode? Answers on a postcard. Togepi uses metronome and nothing happens. I mean, it starts jumping up and down afterwards, which you could argue is Splash, since in Japan Splash is just hop. But then again, Togepi could just be jumping up and down after whatever move Metronome chose failed. Hell, maybe the Metronome chose a weird Gen 1 version of Future Sight and the situation just happened to clear before the move happened. Who knows? Misty says she thinks Togepi might be trying an attack, and Tracy says Togepi might be a bit young for that. I swear, for a Pokemon watcher, this guy really isn't very observant. Like, Togepi's used Metronome a bunch of times now, often with Tracy nearby, and he's just never picked up on it. Tracy, mate, it might be time to think about a new career. Anything that gets you off my screen would be great. After James fails to grab Voltorb with the robot arms, we get this direct quote from Jessie.
Come on, James, this isn't a video game.
Ahaha, you get it? It's because the Pokemon Anime is in fact based on a video game. Wow, gee whiz, gang. That's a really funny observation you made with that line. Direct quote from James.
This thing's slippier than a greased Gengar.
James, mate, how do you know how slippy a greased Gengar is? Better yet, why would you even grease a Gengar? You know what? It's none of my business. Just sounds like another one of those weird Pokemon World kinks we mentioned earlier. Let's just move on. Hoodie reveals that under his hat is a single Pokeball. Wait, I thought that's where one of the Diglett lived. A lot of space under that hat. Guess there's just not a lot of brains there to get in the way. As it's revealed that the Pokemon inside this Pokeball is Dugtrio, I have to wonder, why is this Pokemon only coming out now? Team Rocket have been attacking the Electrode for ages, so why is it only now that Cardigan decides to actually help out? What, suddenly because you're not getting paid, you're less eager to help the Electrode? That's not very protagonistic. Direct quote from Dexter. Dugtrio, formed when 3 Diglett combine. This Pokemon is able to tunnel deep beneath the Earth's surface. Oh my god, you know what this means, don't you? Dexter learned something. Remember, last time we saw Dugtrio, Dexter simply said, "No specific information available." And now it knows that Dugtrio can dig deep underground, just like we all already knew. Okay, so it's not much progress, but it's still progress. A single Dugtrio manages to dig a hole big enough for Team Rocket's entire machine to tumble into. This, for me, was a little bit hard to believe. Like, I get that Dugtrio is supposed to be able to dig deep holes, but a hole this wide seems a bit much. Also, this just proves that Windbreaker could have stopped Team Rocket way sooner and just didn't bother. It also turns out that Team Rocket did catch more than the 4 Electrode we could see. It doesn't matter though, because they all went tumbling into the hole with the machine. Fantastic job by Cape and his Dugtrio. Way to really save those Electrode. Macintosh then proves he could have literally solved the entire Electrode problem in less than a day, simply by having the Diglett dig holes under the Electrode that lead them into Dugtrio's massive tunnel. So what was all this bollocks he was saying about needing a few more days? You could have just solved the problem at any time. Does this mean he was just BSing the mayor to scrape more money out of him? I kind of feel bad for Team Rocket here. Overcoat's the real bad guy. Huh. So that's what's underneath every Diglett. A flame and a basket full of people. Who knew? When the Voltorb says goodbye to Ash and friends, the audio editor apparently forgot to put any effects on the voice actor's lines. So instead of Voltorb, Voltorb, we just get Voltorb, Voltorb. Go back and listen to it. It sounds rubbish. The next day, the bridge is miraculously fixed. Kinda seems like the broken bridge was a really pointless piece of this story. Think about it though, they could have easily had that part of the island be deserted even without the bridge randomly having a hole blown in it. And that particular explosion didn't even happen until Ash and friends showed up anyway. And it's not like they even had any difficulty getting to the island without the bridge, so this whole issue was pointless. Much like most of this episode. Binbag reveals that the mayor gave him a bonus and a key to the city. That's great, now use that money to get yourself a new wardrobe or even a deed poll for a new name. Misty does an impression of Pullover and says he sounds like a movie hero. Oh, we get it. He's based on Clint Eastwood. Just stop going on about it. Didn't you already do a Clint Eastwood character anyway? Oh, that's right, that episode got banned because that character was a bit too Clint Eastwood, wasn't he? But after that, why even bother trying again? Direct quote from Dressing Gown after Misty says maybe they'll meet again sometime.
Maybe so.
Oh yeah, don't forget the creepy wink as well, because not gonna lie, this came across as way too flirty for an old man chatting to a 10-year-old girl. Poncho is a pedo. Pass it on. And yeah, I had to use his real name that time, because, you know, the police need to know who to look for. Oh look, Jigglypuff's on the ferry back to Pallet Town. That's some solid continuity right there. Like, say what you want about Pokemon forgetting their own storylines sometimes, but for some reason they never fail to make sure we know exactly where Jigglypuff is at any given time. So those are my WTF Moments of Pokemon Season 2, Episode 34, The Underground Roundup. Let me know your favorites and any that I missed down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head to twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam for all of my live streams and use code ACE for money off GFuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.